హలో ఎవ్రీవన్ ఈ వీడియోలో మనము టీఎస్ఎస్ఎస్సి 2024 ఫిజిక్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ విత్ ఆన్సర్స్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఈ వీడియోలో స్పెషల్ టెస్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ వేరే డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్స్ అప్లోడ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. అలాగే ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్స్ విత్ ఆన్సర్స్. Some students think this are not very important. Actually, previous year question papers or government papers are very important and worth referring. ఎందుకంటే గవర్నమెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ చేసే వాళ్ళు చాలా ప్రొఫెషనల్స్ ఉంటారు. దే మేక్ ద క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ యాజ్ పర్ అకాడమిక్ స్టాండర్డ్స్. సో మీకు ఈ వీడియో డెఫినెట్గా హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుంది. వాచ్ టిల్ ద ఎండ్ అండ్ డోంట్ మిస్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్స్. సో ఫస్ట్ మేడ్చల్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ ఎలా ఉందో చూద్దాము. ఫిజిక్స్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ సెక్షన్ 1లో 3 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. 2 మార్క్స్ ఈచ్ 6 మార్క్స్. Mention any two uses of ethanol. Write required material to the esterification reaction. What would happen if household appliances are not conducted in series? సెక్షన్ 2లో 3 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. 4 మార్క్స్ ఇచ్ 12 మార్క్స్. ఎలాంటి చాయిస్ ఉండదు, అన్ని అటెంప్ట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. మెన్షన్ ఎనీ 4 అప్లికేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫారడే ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ ఇండక్షన్. ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఫ్లోటేషన్ మెథడ్ ఫర్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద. సిక్స్త్ క్వశ్చన్ అబ్జర్వ్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ ఫిగర్. ఈ సర్క్యూట్కి కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇచ్చాడు. 4 క్వశ్చన్స్. R1, R2, R3 resistor conducted in series or parallel. They are conducted in series. What is the equivalent resistance of the combination of R1, R2, R3 resistors? Resultant resistance in the given circuit. How much current flowing in the given circuit? సెక్షన్ 3 లాంగ్ ఆన్సర్స్. 3 ఇస్తాడు, 2 రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. 6 మార్క్స్ ఈచ్. ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ద కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ జనరేటర్ విత్ డయాగ్రామ్. ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ద ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ నైట్రోజన్ మాలిక్యూల్ విత్ using valence bond theory. List out the material required in the experiment to show electric resistance depend upon the cross section area of the material and write experiment procedure. So ఒక కంపల్సరీ క్వశ్చన్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్, ఒక డయాగ్రామ్ రిలేటెడ్ క్వశ్చన్ విత్ ఆన్సర్స్ డెఫినెట్గా అడుగుతాడు. అండ్ మీరు ఇక్కడ గమనించినట్టయితే ఒక టేబుల్ ఆర్ డయాగ్రామ్ రిలేటెడ్ 4 క్వశ్చన్స్. అండ్ ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ ద హౌస్ హోల్డ్ అప్లయన్సెస్, డైలీ లైఫ్లో యూజెస్, మెటీరియల్స్ రిక్వైర్డ్ కంపల్సరీ అడుగుతాడు. యూజెస్, మెటీరియల్ రిక్వైర్డ్. సో ఇవన్నీ రిఫర్ చేసుకుంటే కంపల్సరీగా ఏమొస్తుంది అనేది బోర్డ్ ఎగ్జామ్లో కూడా మనము గెస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు రంగారెడ్డి డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ స్పెషల్ టెస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ చూద్దాము. సెక్షన్ 1లో 3 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి, మనకు తెలుసు. స్టేట్ డొబైనర్స్ లా ఆఫ్ ట్రయాడ్స్, గివ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. వాట్ ఈస్ అలోట్రోపీ? రైట్ ద అలోట్రోపిక్ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ కార్బన్ విత్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. List out the material required to show that the ratio V by I is constant for a conductor. Section 2, fourth question. Find the resultant resistance values when three resistance 2 ohms, 4 ohms, 6 ohms are connected in series and parallel manner. Define Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Write its application. Observe the table and answer the question. Write the formula for hematite. How many water molecules are present in carnot light? Long answers. Write the experiment procedure to prove that air and water are essential for corrosion. What are the preventive measures do you take for rusting of iron? Define the modern periodic table. Write the periodic properties of elements and their trends in groups and periods. Explain the formation of nitrogen molecule using valency bond theory with neat diagram. ఇప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ స్పెషల్ టెస్ట్ సంబంధించిన క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ విత్ ఆన్సర్ డిస్కస్ చేసి తర్వాత లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్స్ విత్ ఆన్సర్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. హైదరాబాద్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ స్పెషల్ టెస్ట్ ఫిజికల్ సైన్స్ పార్ట్ ఏ. What is the difference between ohmic and non-ohmic conductors? Example of ohmic conductors are metals and resistors, whereas example of non-ohmic conductors are diodes and semiconductors. For ohmic conductor, the resistance always remains constant. For non-ohmic conductors, the resistance increases with increasing temperature. So, ఈ two differences రాస్తే 2 marks వస్తాయి. Draw the diagram of reverberatory furnace and label it. So, this is the diagram. You need to label the parts also. Third question ఏం అడిగాడో చూద్దాం. In water molecule there are 4 electron pairs around the nucleus of oxygen atom. It is expected to be tetrahedral with HOH 109 degrees 28 minutes. But HOH observed is 104 degrees 31 minutes. Why? The bond angle of water molecule is 104 degrees 31 minutes instead of 109 degrees 28 due to the repulsion between the lone pair of electrons and bond pair of electrons. See, ఈ lone pair of electrons and bond pair of electrons రాస్తే maximum marks వస్తాయి. The structure of water molecule is bent non-linear because the oxygen atom is a non-metal that contains 2 lone pairs. Moving on to section 2. Section 2లో 3 questions ఉంటాయి. 4 marks each, 12 marks. ఎలాంటి చాయిస్ ఉండదు. 3 questions అటెంప్ట్ చేయాలి. Draw the diagram of magnetic field produced by the solenoid. So this is the diagram for magnetic field produced by solenoid. దీనికి ఆన్సర్ కూడా చూద్దాం. A long cylindrical coil if insulated copper wire of large number of circular turns is called solenoid. And when the current passes through the solenoid, it produces a magnetic field around it. The magnetic field pattern produced by current carrying solenoid is similar to the magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. Fifth question. In thermite reaction, a compound of iron react with metal. Name the metal used in this reaction. So thermite reaction is Fe2O3 plus Al gives you Al2O3 plus 2Fe. So name the metal used in this reaction. Aluminium and ferric oxide. So Fe2O3 is ferric oxide, Al is aluminium. After completion of this reaction, a metal is obtained in molten state. A metal is nothing but iron. Fe and iron in molten state. Write the balanced chemical equation for the above reaction. So Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives you Al2O3 plus 2Fe. This is the balanced chemical reaction or equation. Mention the most common use of this reaction. Thermite reaction used for the welding of rails joining metals called as thermite welding. Moving forward, explain substitution reaction of alkanes with example. Substitution reaction ante alkanes undergo substitution reaction in presence of sunlight. For example, methane CH react with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Hydrogen atoms of CH are replaced by chlorine atoms CH4 plus Cl2 sunlight. So CH4 plus Cl2 gives you CH3Cl plus HCl, methyl chloride plus hydrogen chloride HCl. CH3Cl plus Cl2 gives you methylene chloride CH2Cl2 plus hydrogen chloride HCl. CH2Cl2 plus Cl2 gives you CHCl3 chlorofluoro and plus HCl. CHCl3 chloroform plus Cl2 gives you CCl4 carbon tetrachloride plus HCl. ఒకసారి హౌ కార్బన్ టెట్రాక్లోరైడ్ ఫార్మ్ త్రూ సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్ రియాక్షన్ అడుగుతాడు. ఈ అన్ని ఈక్వేషన్ రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. 4 మార్క్స్. In section 3, 3 questions will be asked. We need to attempt any 2 questions. ఏదైనా 2 questions attempt చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది 3లో. So 2 into 6 marks each, 12 marks. Explain the formation of BF3 molecule using hybridization. BF3 అంటే boron trifluoride. So boron 5 has electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 1x. It has unpaired electron. So ఈ diagram కంపల్సరీగా రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Boron undergo excitation to get 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1. సో 1s2, 2s2, 2px1 ని ఈ విధంగా రాసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే boron undergoes excitation అందుకనే. To intermixing of 2s, 2px, 2py, hence sp2 hybrid orbital formed bond angle is 120 degrees. These two sp2 orbitals overlap with p orbitals of 3 fluorines to form BF3 molecule. So diagram is important, students. We need to draw this. Write the material required and procedure for the experiment to show current carrying wire produces magnetic field. So aim compulsory రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Magnetic field due to straight wire carrying current. Materials required. These points headings are very important, students. Without writing this heading, you will lose the marks. Materials required cardboard, మీరు చూసినట్టు ఇక్కడ cardboard, wire, battery, iron fillings, ట్యాప్ కి. సో ఇవన్నీ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ప్రొసీజర్ టేక్ ఏ స్ట్రైట్ వైర్ అండ్ పియర్స్ ఇట్ త్రూ ద కార్డ్బోర్డ్ వర్టికల్లీ. సో ఈ విధంగా వైర్ని అరేంజ్ చేయాలి కార్డ్బోర్డ్కి. కనెక్ట్ ద ఎండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద వైర్ టు బ్యాటరీ అండ్ ట్యాప్ కి. నెక్స్ట్ స్ప్రెడ్ సమ్ ఐరన్ ఫిల్లింగ్స్ ఆన్ ద కార్డ్బోర్డ్ అరౌండ్ ద వైర్. క్లోజ్ ద ట్యాప్ కి. We notice that the iron fillings around the wire arrange themselves in concentric circles. సో ఈ విధంగా కరెంట్ పాస్ చేసే వైర్ నుంచి ఈ కార్డ్బోర్డ్ మీద ఉన్న ఐరన్ ఫిల్లింగ్స్ కాన్సెంట్రిక్ సర్కిల్స్ లాగా ఏర్పడతాయి. ప్రీ ఫైనల్ 2 క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ విత్ ఆన్సర్స్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ముందుగా పార్ట్ ఏ సెక్షన్ 1. సెక్షన్ 1లో 3 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఈచ్ క్వశ్చన్ క్యారీస్ 2 మార్క్స్. టోటల్ వెయిటేజ్ ఇస్ 6 మార్క్స్. First question, what happens if concave mirror is used as a rear view mirror? Guess and write. Concave mirrors form a real and inverted image due to which the objects would appear to be inverted. And also concave mirrors cover a much lesser field of view. So we cannot use concave mirror as a rear view mirror in vehicles. Second question, Judam. Write any 2 applications of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. An application of Faraday's laws is in induction furnace where a substance is heated by placing it in rapidly changing magnetic field. A high frequency magnetic field can be used in melting metals or extracting metals from ore. Third question, write the application of thermite reaction in our daily life. The reaction is used for thermite welding, hence used to join railway tracks. Thermites are also used in metal refining due to their extreme high temperatures. Some thermite-like mixtures are used in firecrackers. We'll see section 2. In section 2, we have three questions, no choice. Each question carries 4 marks, total weightage 12. Observe the given table and answer the questions below. This is the table with general form of hydrocarbons and name of the hydrocarbons. CnH2n plus 2 is alkanes, CnH2n is alkene, CnH2 minus 2 is alkyne, CnH2n plus 1 is alkyl. First question related to the table. Which hydrocarbons have triple bond between carbon atoms? Which hydrocarbons have triple bonds between carbon atoms? So alkynes group have triple bonds between carbon atoms. Write the formula for butane. Butane formula is C4H8. Butane means have 4 carbon atoms. Write the structure of pentane. So this is the structure of pentane. Pentane has 5 carbons. Write the name of hydrocarbon C6H13. So C6H13 is will be in the general form of CnH2n plus 1. So exile is the name of the hydrocarbon. Explain loop law in Kirchhoff's law and write the sign convention of it. So Kirchhoff's law current law states that at any node junction in an electric circuit, the sum current flowing into the node is equal to the sum of current flowing outside the node. Sign convention. Current entering at any junction is considered as positive and current leaving the junction is considered as negative. Explain the arrangements of elements in the periods of modern periodic table. In a period, the size of the atom decreases from left to right. This is because of nuclear charge. But the atomic number increases from left to right in the same period, thereby bringing the outermost shell closer to the nucleus. Section 3 is long answers. Out of 3 questions, we need to attempt any 2. Each question carries 6 marks, total weightage is 12. Explain the ionic bond and also explain the formation of ionic bond in the sodium chloride. Ionic bonding is the principal interaction in ionic compound that include the electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions or between the atoms which drastically different electronegativities. An ionic bond is seen between sodium chloride. A neutral sodium atom is likely to achieve an octet in its outermost shell by losing its valence electron. So sodium donates an electron to chlorine and acquires positive charge. Chlorine will get an electron, a negatively charged particle from sodium. Because of its more energy efficient for chlorine to gain one electron than to lose seven in order to acquire stable octet. This makes sodium slightly positive and chlorine slightly negative. Sodium becomes Na plus cation and chlorine becomes Cl minus anion. The sodium is reduced as it donates the electron and chlorine gains the electron and it's oxidized. These two ions are held together by electrostatic force of attraction. Complete the two incomplete figures of a patient suffering with defect of vision of myopia and least distance of vision L and also correction for the defect of the lens. So this is the diagram for the person suffering from myopia. You need to complete this part of the diagram. So image is formed in front of the retina. This is the retina, image is formed in front. And the solution for this is arranging a concave lens. Ninth question, in an experiment, metal hydrogen carbonates react with acids. Write the required material, procedure and result. So this is the diagram for the question. Go through the answer, students. So the result is this activity shows the metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates react with acids to form salt, carbon dioxide and water. Thank you for watching. హలో ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఈ వీడియోలో మనము రంగారెడ్డి డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ ఫిజికల్ సైన్స్ పార్ట్ ఏ ప్రీ ఫైనల్ క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ విత్ ఆన్సర్స్ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. సెక్షన్ 1లో మనకి 3 క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఈచ్ క్వశ్చన్ క్యారీస్ 2 మార్క్స్, టోటల్ వెయిటేజ్ ఇస్ 6 మార్క్స్. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటో చూద్దాం. వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ దట్ వి గెట్ ఫ్రమ్ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ కెమికల్ ఈక్వేషన్? So a chemical equation gives the following information. It gives the symbols and formula of the reactants and products. Reactants at the left side of the arrow we call it as reactants and right side of the arrow we call it as products. So it tells us which substance are taking part in the reaction, which produce or products are being obtained. For example, equation lo CaCO3 and calcium carbonate when react with hydrochloric acid, it gives calcium chloride plus water and carbon dioxide. So it gives the relative number of atoms and molecules of the reactant that take part in the reaction. It also tells us the relative number of atoms and molecules of the product formed in the reaction. Question paper lo second question ఏంటో చూద్దాం. Write the names of any two compounds that have ionic bond. The chemical bond that is formed by the transfer of electrons from one atom to another is termed as an ionic bond. It is formed when one of the atoms can lose electrons to attain the nearest inert or noble gas electronic configuration, and the other atom need electrons to acquire the noble gas configurations. So compounds in which the atoms are connected to each other via ionic bonds are termed as ionic or electrovalent compounds. Sodium chloride NaCl and potassium chloride KCl are ionic compounds. Third question, imagine what happens when the bar magnet is pushed into coil of a copper wire. So when a bar magnet is pushed into the coil of an insulated copper wire connected to a galvanometer, and induced current is set up in the coil due to the change of magnetic field through it. As a result, galvanometer gives a deflection. Section 2. In section 2, we need to attempt 3 questions, no internal choice. Each question carries 4 marks, total is 12 marks for this section. Fourth question, the electronic configuration of an element is given below. Explain which rule it deviates and correct it. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. So here this rule is called Hund's rule, but it is not correct. Reason is electrons should be arranged in such a way it has to fill 3px, 3py, 3pz, and it has to take 3px second time. But here it is given 3px 2 times, 3py 2 times. So it is not a correct one, but it's a Hund's rule. What is the effective resistance when three resistors of 4 ohms, 6 ohms, and 8 ohms are connected in parallel and series? So 4, 6, 8 ohms, when it is connected in series, Rs is given by the formula R1 plus R2 plus R3, where R1 is 4 ohms, R2 is 6 ohms, and R3 is 8 ohms. So total resistance in series is 18 ohms. Whereas when it is connected in parallel, it is given by the formula Rp is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, which is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 8, which gives 13 by 24 ohms. So which is nearly approximately equal to 0.4 ohms. An experiment to prove that the presence of air and water are essential for corrosion. Explain the procedure. So this is the experiment. Take 3 test tubes and place clean iron nails in each of them like this, which is shown in the picture. Label these test tubes as A, B, C. Pour some water in the test tube A and cork it. Pour boiled distilled water in test tube B and add 1 ml of oil and cork to it. The oil will flow on water and prevent the air from dissolving in the water. Put some anhydrous calcium chloride in test tube C and cork it. Leave all the test tubes for a few days and then observe them. You will observe that iron nails in test tube A get rusted, but they do not rusted in B and C. In the test tube A, the nails are exposed to both air and water. In the test tube B, the nails are exposed to only water, and in test tube C, is dry air only. From this activity, we conclude that both air and water are necessary for corrosion. In section 3, students, we have internal choice. 3 questions will be asked. We need to attempt only 2 questions. So each question carries 6 marks. Total weightage is 12. Draw the ray diagram for the following situation for a concave mirror. So image size as object. So go through the images, students. Eighth question, explain the aim required material and experimental procedure from the experiment acids react with the metals. So aim is to make reaction of acid with metals. Material required beaker, magnesium ribbon, large test tube, rubber stopper with glass, HCl, and retort stand with clamp. So go through the procedure, students. Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss physical science question paper with answer. This is an updated question paper. In physical science question paper we have three sections. In section 1 we have three questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Total weightage is 6 marks. Let's see what questions appeared in section 1. Write any two uses of each convex and concave. So concave mirror is used by dentists, solar furnace, reflector of a torch, etc. Whereas convex mirror is used in rear view mirrors. Convex mirror is also utilized in ATMs and other places for security reasons. It is also used as a reflector for street lights. Second question, what happens if rusting of metals does not prevent? If we do not prevent rusting of metals, then it will destroy the metal over the time and can become a safety hazard to human health and environment. If we do not prevent corrosion of metal, then it may harm to environment and also human health. List out the materials required to verify Ohm's law. So we require a resistor of about 5 ohms, an ammeter 0 to 3 amperes, a voltmeter 0 to 10 volts, 4 dry cells of each 1.5 volt and a cell holder, a plug key, connecting wire and a piece of sandpaper. These are all the materials required to verify the Ohm's law. Now we will move on to the section 2. In section 2 we have 3 questions. Each question carries 4 marks. Total weightage is 12. And first question of section 2 is answer the following question by using the above data. So first question, how does the capacity of losing electron change in the second period from left to right? So answer is on moving from left to right in a period, the tendency of atom to lose electrons is decreases. The answer is decreases. How does atomic size change in the second period? So across the period from left to right, there is a decrease in atomic size with increase in nuclear charge of the element. Mention the valency shell of the elements from lithium to fluorine. On mention the position of elements N in the periodic table. So nitrogen is located in the group 15 of the periodic table. Moving to the fifth question in section 2, mention the difference between alkanes and alkenes. So alkanes, they are saturated hydrocarbons, they are unsaturated hydrocarbons. These compounds contain only single bond, whereas alkenes contains double bonds. The general chemical formula of alkanes is CnH2n plus 2. The general chemical formula of alkenes is CnH2n. The bond length is longer than the alkenes, whereas bond length is short compared to alkanes. A doctor suggested to use plus 2D power lens to correct power side effect. Then find the focal length of the lens and mention type of lens suggested. So focal length is positive, which is for convex lens, and convex lens is used for correction of hypermetropia. So the person is suffering from hypermetropia. Moving on to the section 3. In section 3 we have choice. They will give 3 questions. We have to attempt only 2 questions from this section. So 2 questions should be attempted. Each question carries 6 marks. Total weightage is 12 marks. Let's see what answer or what question is appeared for long answer. Mention the product, write balanced chemical equation when 112 grams of propane is combusted. Calculate the mass of the carbon dioxide evolved in this reaction. Let's see the answer, students. So mass of the carbon dioxide is 336 grams. This is how we got it. List out the materials required in the experiment of hydrogen gas is evolved when the metals react with acids or bases. Mention the precautions to be taken and experimental procedure. So this is the answer, students. Go through the answer.